We are here tonight. We are here tonight. You probably have already heard by the intro music already. Let me go in and play it a little bit. Oops. Let me go in. There we go. All right. Decided to do something new tonight. Because we have some stuff that we have to talk about. Some very important stuff to go on and talk about for tonight. That being, we have already a risk of severe weather already set up for Monday, and it's already a slight risk. And I always say that the fact that it's this far out and they're that confident means that there is definitely going to be a bit of a concern with that, and something that we're really gonna have to watch out for. So let's go ahead and cut this music real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and get that out. But good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to go on and talk about for tonight. And I pretty much already discussed it a bit during the beginning, but what's on tap? What are we actually going to go on and talk about for tonight, just in general? Well, we're going to talk about a patchy frost possible tonight with cold and dry air settling in. We also have some cooler, drier conditions Friday going into Saturday. Rain and shower returns late weekend, Sunday through Monday, and severe weather possibility on Monday with much colder air arriving Monday night onward, meaning a cold front moving through. And we've been talking about that cold front just as we've been moving throughout the past couple of days. But now there is a severe weather threat that is added on to it as well. So all of that will be covered tonight. If you have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so. Right now we have around a good 4 people that have tuned in, only 3 likes. So far, if you've not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. 5 people. So if you've not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Free. You can change your mind at any time if you want to. And then also, make sure that you also go on and share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, people that you don't even talk to, because it's free. And you and them can both change your mind at any time. It doesn't matter if it's over the next minute, over the next hour, over the next 24 hours, or 24 years. It doesn't matter. You can change your mind whenever you want to. So let's go on real quick and talk about our current conditions. So starting off, this is what is currently going on. Absolutely nothing. All of that rainfall, all that severe weather that we got earlier. I know a lot of us were a bit interested to see that tornado watch today. If you did not watch this morning's forecast update, you probably didn't know that was even going to happen. So that's why sometimes it is important to go on and check out the morning updates as well. So we did talk about it. We did go on and talk about it. They had a pretty big upgrade last night. It was only supposed to be like a little marginal risk inside of like the central Midlands and those areas, but overnight going into like this morning, they changed it over into a slight risk of severe weather for a good amount of the state, and everybody else had a marginal risk. So pretty big upgrade that happened yesterday. But let's go on and check out what's going on throughout the entire U.S. Well, we do in fact have some snowfall going on up here inside the Northeast. We have some rainfall over here inside of Iowa, going on inside of Wisconsin, Illinois, Nebraska, the Dakotas. Some rainfall, snowfall going on in Montana, also over here inside of Washington State. But look down here inside the South. Nice and dry. We do have some rainfall down there in Florida, but Florida is always doing their own thing usually. Now for our cloud cover. Cloud cover right now actually seems to be pretty nice. I mean, we don't have any cloud cover going on right now. In fact, I was just outside about like a good hour and a half ago, and it was nice and clear out there. Nice and clear. So that's something good to look at. For our cloud cover for the future, I mean, again, you're looking at it, nice, clear condition. We move in through tomorrow. Still nice and clear all the way throughout the late night hours, going into early tomorrow morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Still nice and clear. We're having a nice sunshiny day. I mean, we're having fun in the sun tomorrow. We go all the way through. Here is 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, going into noon. Just nice. As you move into around 3 o'clock p.m., though, you're starting to see some cloud cover maybe starting to move its way over inside of the upstate a little bit as you go into like the afternoon. But Does it have anything to do with rainfall? Most likely, probably not. Doesn't really have anything to do with rainfall, unless unless it has no accumulation with it. But we continue through. I mean, here's Friday, 10 o'clock p.m. Still nice and clear. I'm seeing some fog activity starting to go on Saturday morning, so that might be something to watch out for Saturday morning. Fog cover activity. You going all the way through. Here's 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, going into 12 o'clock p.m., and even 1 o'clock p.m. as well. I mean, just cloud cover activity going on all the way throughout. Nice clear activity, going on throughout the entire state. Now, like I said, doesn't mean that we're going to be clear, throughout the next 48 hours. Everybody's, not going to see a single cloud in the sky over the next 48 hours. But it does mean that a good amount of us won't really see cloud cover for a good little bit throughout this time frame. Again, not saying that we're going to be completely clear of clouds, but it will be nice. Now, for the most part, live temperatures right now, we have around a good 56 in Beaufort, 58 in Holland, as well as 52 in Charleston, 51 in Somerville, and 50 in Orangeburg, 52 in Aiken, and 52 in Columbia, 50 Greenwood, and 49 in Newberry, 50 also inside of Clemson, Anderson, Lawrence, 47 Greenville, and 49 in Spartanburg, 49 in Gaffney, and 48 in York, 47 Rock Hill, Lancaster, 49 in Hartsville, and 45 in Florence, 45 in Bennettsville, and 46 in Conway, 47 North Myrtle Beach, and 48 inside of Myrtle Beach, Myrtle's Inlet, and Georgetown. Air quality for tonight, we're nice and good. We're not seeing anything outside of the good category, so air quality is good for tonight. Low temperatures tonight, definitely a lot less than what we are used to. 30s, 35 in Greenville, 34 Spartanburg, Rock Hill, 35 in Anderson, Lawrence, Newberry, Columbia, 34 in Camden, Sherrod, 33 in Florence, Dillon, Kingstree, 35 in Sumter and Orangeburg, as well as Barnwell, 36 in Walterboro, Moncks Corner, and 38 in Georgetown, 43 Charleston, and 40 in Myrtle Beach, 47 in Hilton Head Island. High temperatures for tomorrow. You have around a good 62 in Greenville, Spartanburg, as well as Rock Hill, 63 in Anderson, Lawrence, 64 Newberry, 62 in Winsboro, 66 in Columbia, Sumter, 65 Florence, and 64 in Dillon, 66 in Aiken, and 68 in Barnwell, Orangeburg, 67 in Kingstree, Moncks Corner, Charleston, 69 Walterboro, and 64 Georgetown. Now for your rainfall, not expected at this time. Again, no accumulation. We'll go in and look at the models in a little bit and see if the models have to agree with it. But in terms of the National Weather Service, no accumulation is expected. Crazy score for tonight, we're at an 11, which is pretty self-explanatory as of why if you just looked at the cloud cover that I just showed you. It will be a little bit breezy, up to gusts of up to 15 and 20 miles per hour, so that may up it a little bit, which is why it kind of happened. It says also patchy frost could potentially be possible towards sunrises in those sheltered, those rural areas, inland spots. So those areas right there are definitely have that chance. So if you're in a low sheltered spot, you need to cover up vegetation, need to cover up plants, anything like that, go on and do so tonight. SPC outlook for tonight, thunderstorms are not expected for tonight, so we're good there. Tomorrow, same thing. And Saturday, we do have a little bit of a thunderstorm risk over here near the coastal areas, mainly the coastal low country, maybe a little bit of the coastal, coastal Grand Strand areas as well. So, it's there. It's possible. It's definitely possible. But for right now, we have nothing there right now to really talk about. And so, now I want to go on real quick and talk about this next area of severe weather. So we're going to start off here, which I'm going to have to format this real quick. I think I'm going to copy this. There we go. All right, so this is Monday's risk of severe weather right here. This is Monday's risk of severe weather. So you're looking at this, and you might be looking at it and saying, well, what is this for? Well, this is for, obviously, severe weather. And so this will occur Monday, March the 16th, date right there at the top, obviously. Same thing as we've been doing. And this is the first time that we've seen a risk like this since last year. And what type of risk do I mean? I mean, like, we have never seen a SPC outlook for us going all the way out past days 4, 5, 6, going out all throughout those days, impact us this early. And so, pretty much what I'm trying to say, just summing it up real quick, is that we have a chance of severe weather on Monday, and the fact that they are already this confident at day 5 means that we definitely have to watch out for this. Monday, March the 16th. Also, I would have went live today. I know a lot of people ask me, "Oh, are you gonna go live today? Are you gonna go live today?" If I did not have, obviously, school and stuff like that, I would have went live today. Would have most likely went live today, if obviously I didn't have that. But obviously I did, so I couldn't. And this could potentially be another day where I probably could go live and probably should cover it. But obviously, I have other responsibilities, so I'm not able to. May figure out how to try and get a live stream set up for it. Maybe. We'll see what happens for it. Just where it's just the computer running, not me talking or anything like that. But again, that just determines on what happens here. Maybe if it intensifies enough, stuff may get canceled. You never know. But for right now, slight risk of severe weather is here for Monday, March the 16th. Make sure that you are preparing and have your severe weather stuff in place just in case if something happens. But we're going to look at the models for it and see what they have to say as well. But right here, fire weather, nothing here. Excessive rainfall, nothing here either. So we are good in terms of these areas. So let's go in and look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure you go in and pay attention to it. And we're going to start off by just talking about the short term first. Then we'll get out into the long term and stuff like that. But we continue our way forward, nice and dry all throughout tomorrow. I mean, just a nice day tomorrow. Definitely go outside and enjoy tomorrow, as it's going to be just nice. And, those temperatures, they won't be up into like the 80s or the 90s, but they won't be down in like the 50s or the 40s for highs. So, honestly, that's almost like a perfect day. I think maybe if it was in the 70s or maybe a little bit better, but, I mean, I'm fine with 60s. I'm fine with 60s as well. So, tomorrow's just going to be a great day. Definitely go outside and enjoy that. You go into like tomorrow night, going into Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. Again, just nice and dry. Saturday is going to be a nice day as well, it seems, for right now. We'll get as of 2 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. We'll look at the rest of it actually right now. So right here, we're going to start off here at 2 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. And like I said, we're still not seeing anything. And this is kind of what we've been talking about. We've been talking about over and over and over again about how Saturday is going to look good. Sunday may not look as good. And we continue throughout all the way through 11 o'clock p.m. going into 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Still, Saturday looks like it's going to be a nice, great, good day. So Friday, Saturday looking good. Sunday, on the other hand, looks a bit different. Definitely does look a bit different. You can see rainfall moving in from the Atlantic over into the state as we move into Sunday at 11 o'clock in the morning. And then as you move throughout the day on Sunday, I mean, you're just seeing, for the most part, scattered to numerous shower and potentially maybe storm activity on Sunday. But here comes Monday. Remember, this is the day that we're going to have to watch out for that severe weather. We're starting off here on Monday, and as it goes on and pushes its way east, I mean, you can see for sure this is continuing to move its way over into the east. It continues to move its way over into the east. All the way through Monday, here's 2 o'clock, here's 5 o'clock, here's 8 o'clock p.m. And so, there's a good chance that maybe if this happens after my activities, then I may actually be able to live stream for it. So live stream is not out of the question on Monday. Live stream definitely could happen on Monday to cover this severe weather event right here. We'll see what happens. And actually, no, I just realized something. I don't even have school on Monday. I don't even know. That just completely just went over my head. I don't. 3-day weekend this weekend. I so forgot about that. So actually, yes, there is a good chance that if this threat continues to stay up, that I will be live on Monday. I completely forgot about that. Not a holiday or anything like that. Just gave us 3 days this weekend. So I take that back. Completely. Continue our way through though. Yeah, that continues just to move its way off. We have cold air for the most part, trying to build its way through by the time we get into Monday night going into Tuesday morning. And then as you continue through all the way through Wednesday going into Thursday, Just warm conditions try to take back over after that cold air moves its way through on Tuesday. Moving through Friday, going into Saturday as well. I mean, it definitely looks a lot drier than the beginning of the week. I will say that for sure. I mean, Wednesday going all the way through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it just looks a lot better. Just looks a lot better in general. Going through Sunday, Monday, we have some rainfall activity potentially next weekend as well. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So that's a possibility. And then going into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, that's just a bit too far out. But I'm not seeing anything in terms of big term storm activity. It just looks like your regular shower thunderstorm activity as you go through the weekend, next weekend, going into the week after as well. So, except for Monday, Monday has I have my biggest eye on Monday right now. I have my biggest eye on Monday right now. But that's about all that I can see here. So let's go on and look at this severe weather threat for Monday. Let's go ahead and break that down now. So we're gonna start off here. We're gonna start off into Sunday. And we're gonna look at the GFS. We're just gonna kind of push this back to where we were just looking at. And we start off here. I mean, here's Monday 11 o'clock p.m. or Sunday 11 o'clock p.m. Excuse me. And then this goes all the way into 5 o'clock in the morning. And, we're seeing rainfall activity go all the way through 8 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're seeing some clearing going on with the rainfall. Not what you want to see. If you don't want to see severe weather, you want to see cloud cover, you want to see rainfall coverage going throughout the entire state. But if you get that clearing in front of the line, that just strengthens it even more, especially if you start to receive clear spots like sunspots peeking down, stuff like that. That goes all the way through 2 o'clock p.m. again. You're seeing a good amount of rainfall, but there goes the main line right there moving its way through, and you can even kind of see that shower and that thunderstorm activity kind of going on. Now, if we go on and look at the dew points, let's check out the ingredients. Check out the ingredients real quick and see what they're seeing. Well, we do have the dew points. I mean, that's pretty obvious. You have the warm front right here. You have the cold front down this way. Let me go and get out my pen real quick so I can show this a bit easier. But let me go in and load it up. There it is. So you have the warm front. I'm going to put that in pink. You have the warm front right here. And then over here, you have the cold front that kind of digs its way down. And supposed to be triangles, but I'm just kind of just rushing through it. And so this whole system right here is going to continue to go on and move its way over into the east. And so you will continue to kind of see it move its way through. I mean, this is 8 o'clock in the morning. This is 11 o'clock, going all the way through. Here's 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And you can see as the cold front moves its way throughout the state. That's what you're looking at. So that, and then what about also our winds up in the upper atmosphere? I mean, you can see these winds are definitely cranking. Definitely are. I mean, you're seeing up to 100 knots throughout the upstate. You're seeing around a good 70 knots throughout the low country, throughout like the PD Grand Strand areas near 60s and 70s. So the winds up in the upper atmosphere, I mean, they're definitely there. They are definitely there. And then in terms of Cape being one of the most important factors, because if you don't have the Cape, what's your energy going to be based off of? And, I mean, you can obviously see here, this is at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. I mean, you push through, here's 2 o'clock, here's 5 o'clock. Look how much energy there is. I mean, we're seeing 1,500 joules per kilogram throughout some of these areas. And right now it's showing a possible hazard type of a tornado. That's what it shows. That's what it shows right now. So that just shows you that we really have to be watching out for Monday in terms of potentially, I mean, I'm looking down here. I see... let's see, I see significant hail parameters down there. I see possible hazard type tornado over there. But all of the hazards will come out, once we get into day 2 and, getting into day 3. But if I go back over here into the Monday, March 16th time frame here, and we go on to see what the actual SPC outlook has to say. We go into the actual SPC outlook, and I just want to see their discussion, and then we can also go in and look at the CIPS, the CSU model as well. Day 5, let's see. It's just a lot of stuff. But it says severe thunderstorm potential will likely continue to Monday as an intense upper trough continues to migrate east. Intense deep layer. I'm just reading it through, kind of just skimming through it to see if I can see what type of hazards they're talking about. Strongly forced line of convection along the eastward advancing cold front. This activity alone could produce a swath of strong to severe wind gusts, a more conditional risk of supercells across the warm sector across eastern Virginia and North Carolina, but this is more uncertain and can change. Given the damaging wind potential and the strongly forced linear convection, a 15% severe delineation has been added for parts of the region. So I think right now that they think it's probably more of a damaging wind threat, but it could be kind of like that tornado threat that we had earlier today, where, the tornadoes were actually embedded inside of the line, as we saw earlier today. So, that's what we just saw over there on the sounding. It showed that full-on risk showing up through there. So I do think, for the most part, that tornadoes still are there and potentially even hail as well. But like I said, things will change. So these risk will get a lot more set in stone by the time we get closer and closer towards the event. And then I want to go in real quick and just check out the CIPS, the CSU, and then we'll go in and talk about the temperatures for our future. Let's go into day 5, which CIPS usually is my least favorite because it usually shows something completely different than the CSU and the SPC, and it's showing it. So I'm not even going to show the CIPS. Not really my favorite at all. But this is the CSU right here. Look at this one in the middle. Has a slight risk going on throughout the entire state. Doesn't have any sort of hazards or anything like that. It's just way too far out right now to really tell the exact risk. But it does show that chance. Same thing with the SPC outlook as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that, and we'll just continue to go on and I'll just go on and continue to update you Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, etc. But let's go in and look at the models now. So we're going to start off here at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight. And as we go in and push this forward, obviously we are below average. But as we start and go into Friday, for example, we will start to just get normal. You see 0 degrees throughout the state. You see 2, -2, all throughout the state of South Carolina. And it just looks nice. Looks normal. Temperatures do, at least. And even as you get into Sunday, things may get a little bit above average. I mean, we're talking about highs potentially getting back up into the 60s and 70s again as you go into this weekend. You're going all the way through into Sunday. Look at how high those temperatures rise here. I mean, you're seeing 10 to 15 degrees above average. You get up into Monday, though. This is where the storm system moves through. And before that storm system gets through, obviously that warm front will come in. It will rise our temperatures up, and it will bring us almost 20 degrees above average. 20 degrees above average. You go on and push this forward even more, there goes the main cold front. I mean, 10, 20 degrees below average as we go all the way throughout Tuesday. We're seeing that as you just go on and continue this way forward, all the way into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, just continuing to stay below average in terms of our temperatures. Friday comes along and things get a little bit dicey, a little bit in between, but for the most part, we still stay a bit cooler, even as we go into Sunday of the week after next week. And so that will bring in some more warmer temperatures, maybe as we get into Monday. And then as we get into the week after next week, I mean, we're really starting to see those temperatures starting to get back up into like the 20s or so. So for the most part, it looks like that the rest of this week here is going to be just normal temperatures. This weekend a bit warmer. Then we get into next week below average. And then we get into the week after next week warmer. So it's just that flip-flop continuing to go on and happen. Let's go on and also talk about our actual, temperatures actually. So these are the actual temperatures that we're going to see, not anomalies or anything like that. But we start off here, we go into tonight, we go into tomorrow. I mean, we're seeing, again, temperatures getting up into the 60s, going into the 70s tomorrow. Mainly 60s, though, for the most part. Going all the way through Saturday here, I mean, you start to see some 60s going on. You start to see some 70s going on as well. That goes on all the way through into Sunday. Sunday, getting up into the 60s and 70s. But then that cold front pushes through, and we'll try to get up into the 70s on Monday. But that cold front will move through, and we'll see some below freezing temperatures as we go into Monday night, Tuesday morning, up in the upstate. You know, we continue our way through. Here's Wednesday, 5 o'clock in the morning here. We have, again, more cold air. More frigid, freezing temperatures going on throughout Wednesday morning. And that will just continue. I mean, high temperatures really only trying to get into the 50s and 60s and not really trying to get much higher than that. In fact, I mean, I may still only see like some like high 40s maybe for temperatures next week in the upstate. So just overall, not a great week next week. If you are a warm weather fan and you want this cold weather out, fortunately for you, it's not looking too good next week. But if you are a cool weather fan, next week's looking great for you. Looking just fantastic for you. Now, once we get to around like the 200-hour mark, we're going to go in and look at the ensembles and switch over to that right now. We're also going to go in and check out the mean and Z. So right now, obviously, as we get into like this is Saturday, so next weekend, you go in and push this forward right here. You know, you have around some 70s coming around for the most part in terms of highs as you get into the week after next week. And for the most part, looks like a warm-up definitely is coming by. Maybe even some 80s trying to get in as well as we go into like later, not next week, but the week after next week. As you get into like, that's actually like the last couple of days of March. Last couple of days of March there, going to maybe early April, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And so that's all I have to say here. So let's go on now, and let me go on and put the drought prediction inside the chat. Let me see. Drought is gone. Abnormally dry remains. And then drought and abnormally dry gone. There it is. Alright, so the drought prediction is now inside the chat right now. So go in and vote on that. But before we get to the drought, let people vote. Let's go on and talk with the audience for the people who will be voting. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say here for tonight. Starting off, I believe Mr. Chris was here first tonight. He says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Aunt Lewis says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. I pray everyone had a blessed day. Well, thank you so much for that. Mr. Chris says, I had a very cloudy day today. Not that much rainfall. Same thing at my house. Same thing at my house for today. Did not see that much rainfall at all today. In fact, I can actually tell you the exact amount. It was 0.08. 0.08. Continuing our way down, my Aunt Lewis says today in Georgetown the high was 74. At my house, it was around 73. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says currently it's 50 degrees here in Moncks Corner. Same at my house, 50 degrees. We got the same. Also said we got to around 65 today. Pretty low. That is pretty low compared to me and where I am, and then over in there in Georgetown as well, to where we both got up into the 70s. You only got up into the 60s. Mount Lewis says we had a light rain shower was enough to control the pollen. Did not do anything at all for us here. Did not do anything for us at all over here. I mean, that rainfall just came down and it was gone after like a little while. Then it was just like little showers, like little drizzles here and there, but nothing crazy at all to really get the pollen off. So it seems like I'm going to have to rinse it off myself and rinse my car off myself. And then continue our way down. Miss Chris, I love the new intro music. I did use it a little bit last severe weather season, but I didn't really use it too much. It is just the Weather Channel theme, and that's their red alert music, meaning that, you know, time we pay attention, time we start going on and really paying attention to the weather and see what's going on. Then, Mount Lewis said our weather dropped in less than an hour. Same thing. Mr. Chris says, we're doing well tonight. Dad says, good evening. Just from the 360 Weather family, I trust all is well. All is well with me. Well, thank you so much for that. And the beautiful day here in San Antonio this morning was really chilly, around 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Looks like that you're going to be around there again tonight. Ms. Chris said there was also a tornado warning in Williamsburg County near Lake City. I don't know if there was any confirmed reports. I don't know if there was any confirmed reports today in terms of tornadoes, like actually touching the ground. I don't think there were actually any confirmed, and if I go in and check it out, yeah, I don't think there was any actually like confirmed, so that's good, at least. That says current temperature is 67, the high for today was around 73 with clear skies. We continue our way down. My Aunt Lewis says I went to my office today for about an hour and the temperature had already dropped and the wind was high. Yeah, that cold front was moving through. As the cold front moved through, that is obviously going to go on and kind of switch things up a little bit. That says we were going to cut back the crepe myrtles and got them to the curb in preparation for bulk pickup. Good. Talking to somebody else. Well, that's good. Glad that you got that done today. And then Trail says, greetings, everyone, greetings to you. Milo says, start off warm this morning, but things changed in the afternoon. Miss Chris says, I felt the temperature drop as the day went along. Let's skip for the baby shower on Saturday. Miss Maya Lewis says, I can live with anything from the 50s to the 60s. And that's all that I can see here. But yes, like I did say, there was no tornado actually touching the ground for today's severe threat. No matter, if it being over there inside of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, didn't matter. No tornadoes touched down today. And for the most part, there was a lot of storm reports. Trees were down today. I see, honestly, just looks like trees down, and that's about all that I can see here throughout the state. But that's all that I can see there inside of the chat. So let's go on and talk about the drought. If you have no idea what the drought monitor is, it is a prediction that we go on and see just what the drought conditions are looking like. And I have not seen it. I'm about to go on and do my prediction right now as we speak. But if you don't know what the options are number one, the drought has expanded because we do have a drought throughout the state of South Carolina right now. Number two, the drought has shrunk / stayed the same. The third option is the drought is gone and the abnormally dry remains. The abnormally dry is like not a drought, but it's pretty dry. And then the fourth option being the drought and the abnormally dry is gone. And so for right now, it looks like that we have nobody really optimistic saying that the drought and the abnormally dry is gone, but we do have some optimists saying that the drought is gone and the abnormally dry remains. Also, 33% said that the drought has shrunk / stayed the same, and 33% said that the drought has expanded. So we have a good amount here, and we're going to go on real quick and put my prediction in real quick, see who I agree with. And honestly, this is the past 24 hours. I'm going to go throughout the past 7 days. There was a good amount. I see around 1.3 inches over here inside of Spartanburg, 1.2 inside of the Anderson areas, but just splotches here and there. And I was actually one of the areas inside of these splotches areas, especially this one down here, because I got around 1.3 inches of rainfall from that storm that moved through on Sunday throughout my area. But we were, in my area, we were one of the only areas that got around an inch of rainfall. Everybody else was, a little bit less than that. So I think that where I am at least got a majority of the rainfall. So that did help out. Did definitely help out. Obviously not other people around us, not too as lucky. But I do see a lot of improvement up here inside the upstate. So that's definitely something to take into account. So, if I'm just remembering, we had a D3 up there inside the upstate. I think that D3 definitely shrunk. The one in the low country may have grown. And remember, we do have a D0 in abnormally dry in the central U.S. So I do think that the drought has either shrunk or stayed the same. I do not think that it expanded. It's possible. Anything's possible. But I do not think that it expanded at all. So I'm going to be a part of the 33% who says that. So we're going to go on and get a drum roll real quick. And we're going to go on and get this thing started and revealed after about 10 seconds or so. And then we got 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. Now we can go and get the drum roll. Honestly, not really much changed I'm not really seeing a whole bunch of change at all. So I think for the most part, the 33%, including me, who said the drought has shrunk and stayed the same, that's correct. We are the correct group. So let's go and give ourselves a round of applause. So yeah, in my opinion, I do think for the most part that we still have a good amount of area left, and obviously it shows that even though we had that good amount of rainfall, I mean, some areas got 2 inches of rain, didn't really put a dent in their drought at all. So, I mean, that just goes to show you. Also, if you go on and look at over here, so the low country areas kind of did go down a little bit. I don't have to look at the old one for exact specifics, but for the most part, it looks like everybody's still around the same where they were earlier. You know, D0, abnormally dry in the central part of the state. D3, the worst drought up here in areas like Greenwood, Lauren, Union, Southern Greenville, as well as Anderson and Abbeville as well. Low country in the D2, D1 in the moderate, in the light tannish areas. So that's what it looks like right now. And honestly, not much has changed. So that's all that I have to say there. So let's go in and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking 4 locations. What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and give them their forecast for them. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first. San Antonio tonight with low temperatures at 45, high temperatures for tomorrow at around 79, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 52. Yes, 52. Other than that, though, no precipitation is expected, no severe weather is expected, no excessive rainfall is expected. I mean, it just looks like that you're just going to be sunny pretty much throughout like the next 7 days or so. You will kind of warm up. You'll get into the 90s, 92 on Sunday. So you will be warm this weekend, 86 on Saturday. We'll cool down a little bit, 61 on Monday, 69 on Tuesday, 79 Wednesday, 82 on Thursday. So it's going to warm right back up. Wind gusts will also be a bit high. Wind gusts as high as 30, 35 miles per hour Sunday night going into Monday morning. And then for the most part, that's about it. For Raleigh, not Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight at around 33, high temperatures for tomorrow at around 60, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 44. Precipitation not expected at this time. Severe weather. You do have that chance on Monday. You are right here with South Carolina with your risk of severe weather on Monday. So make sure you're watching out, paying attention for it, as you do have a 15 to 29% chance of severe weather on Monday. So, like I said, the fact that it's that far out, 5 days out, and they have it out already, I think that that's kind of concerning, to say the least, that they already are that confident this early. Excessive rainfall for you, though, you're good for your future, past that area. It looks like, for the most part, that rainfall will really just try to go on as you go in through, like, this Sunday night, Monday. Saturday, you're not going to receive really any sort of rainfall on Saturday, tomorrow as well, obviously. Going to be a bit breezy tomorrow, though. Wind gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. And then after that, dry. Temperatures for you will continue to kind of rise until you get into Monday, then cool back down Tuesday and Wednesday, with low temperatures getting down below freezing. Then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 31, high temperatures for tomorrow at around 51, then low temperatures tomorrow night at 40. No precipitation is expected. It will be breezy tomorrow. Gusts as high as 30 miles per hour tomorrow. Now for your rainfall possible Sunday night going all the way through Monday night. 90% chance on Sunday night, 100% chance on Monday, 70% chance on Monday night. So you definitely as well have a chance of rainfall activity. That's pretty much is expected as you go throughout Sunday night and Monday night. Now, for the most part, it does look like your temperatures will continue to kind of go on and stay up. 66 on Monday. Going through Tuesday, things will start to die back down, back into the 40s again as you get through Tuesday and Thursday. And then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, you have low temperatures tonight at 43, high temperatures for tomorrow at around 76, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 47. Precipitation not expected. at this time. It's going to be a bit breezy Sunday night and Sunday with gusts as high as probably around 35, 40 miles per hour Sunday going into Sunday night. We'll see the exact specifics as we go into tomorrow night, and I'll be able to elaborate that further. But for right now, just as windy right now, conditions are definitely expected as you go through Sunday. Will be a bit breezy as well, not only throughout tonight, but going through Saturday and Saturday night with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour through those 3 time frames. And then for the most part, excessive rainfall, not expected. Severe weather. I did forget to mention Philadelphia, but Philadelphia has no severe weather. Duncan, Oklahoma, for the most part, nothing in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall, either for your future. Temperatures will start to die back down Sunday, getting down to around 71, but then Monday it will really die down to 52, but then it will climb back up almost immediately Tuesday, Wednesday, up into the 80s. And that's about all I can see here throughout these 4 areas. So that's all that I have to say here. Make sure if you've not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the subscribe button. We're at 716, trying to get to that main goal of 800 subscribers. We are 84 away, and we are 9 away from 725, that being the quarter of the way goal. Let's go and look at the top fans of the night for tonight. Let's go and get them counted up. Seemed like it was really competition between Thad, Maya Lula, and then Mr. Chris, but let's go ahead and count them up. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all that I see, but honestly, just scrolling through this, Mr. Chris definitely won for tonight. I mean, yeah, I just see him about like every time I scroll down. So, Mr. Chris is the winner for tonight. Maya Lula is at number 2, and then Thad is at number 3. So, congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fan, you can by joining us here early, here at 9 o'clock. Being a subscriber, because if you're not a subscriber, obviously you can't participate. And being active. If you're not active, there's a good chance that you won't be on the list or anything. So go on and participate so we can have a variety of people coming in here. And so right now, let's go and give them a round of applause. Let's check out the chat for anything else. Mr. Chris says, everyone, please remember to go ahead and stay safe, warm, hydrated. Going to be cold again? Absolutely. In terms of what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise, a moderate atmospheric river will continue to bring heavy snow over the Olympics, Northern Cascades, Northern Rockies Friday, while heavy rainfall may bring flooding to coastal Oregon and Washington. A winter storm will continue to push across the Great Lakes in the Northeast Friday and Saturday with areas of heavy snow and high winds. I mean, we're going to have high winds. I mean, just super high winds. I saw a report of like 100 miles per hour over there in Wyoming earlier today, which is just insane. Frost as well going on in parts of Alabama and Georgia. And just like I said, high winds are going to be a concern all the way from Wyoming throughout the Dakotas, Nebraska, Iowa, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes. I mean, just all of these areas are going to have a concern in terms of high winds moving throughout these areas. We also have some hot conditions, 90s going on up down there in the coastal California area, San Diego, El Cajon's included. Los Angeles is included in there as well. And that's all that I can see there. Let me see. I don't see anything else inside of my email. So if you want to go in and send me an email, you can, scweather360@gmail.com. And that's all that I can see here. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with your Friday morning forecast update and tomorrow evening with your Friday evening forecast update. Make sure that you're there for that. And make sure you go and hit those 2 buttons before you leave. Make sure you share as well to all the people that you know.